whosoever is carrying Thor's fingerprints is, I think, the literal translation.
Yes, well, that's a very, very interesting theory. I have a simpler one. You're all not worthy.
All right, everybody. Woo! Welcome back to another episode. Almost got him. That close. That close. All right, welcome to. It's it. It's going to be magical. All right. Welcome to Comics Conspiracy, where we're going to be deep diving into all things Marvel, with generally stuff other people don't want to talk about.
Nobody talks about Marvel. No one likes to talk about Marvel.
No, generally. And definitely not what you're going to get from the regular shill. Yeah, the regular shill media is not going to be covering this kind of stuff. We're going to be looking into all the hypotheses, all the possibilities, and
that's
of course all the hypotheses. Anyway, all the conspiracies and so on and so forth that loom within the comic book realm of Marvel. With us today is our experts. We got Camera Chris.
What? There it goes.
Oh, nice.
Magic. And I should have said Captain Chris, not Camera Chris. And
missed opportunities. Come on.
Exactly. There it is. And of course we have the human ramp, who is not festive at all.
I'm not
costume at all.
He's going to have to explain that nickname to us someday.
One day I will explain what the human ramp is. It is a story.
Did you lay down? Did you lay down and let them put a board on you and ride bikes over you or something?
Oh, there was no board. And the rest of the story is correct.
All right, hold on. You should wait. When we get 1,000 subscribers, tell the whole story in detail.
That's it.
There you
Looking
go.
for 1,000 subscribers, and I will tell the story in detail.
So tomorrow, who wants to be number 1,000?
Exactly.
I think we're at 11 now. Woo!
We're close.
We're creeping up.
Exactly. 11 on what? Rumble or?
That's only 989 more to go.
On YouTube right now, and I think Rumble we're at 6.
All right.
Yeah.
But Rumble we get the views on Rumble.
We get
though.
more views.
Yeah.
Rumble we get
all right.
more views.
Let's just be honest. It's just our friends that are feeling sorry for us. But okay.
I actually haven't been doing the pandering. I haven't asked any of my friends to subscribe. I've been putting it out there, but I've been like, please subscribe, please. I would like some more, please. I haven't been doing any Oliver Twist bullshit.
You've been too busy selling your soul on AI. All right.
He's too busy spending all that time marketing the card game that he never talks about.
We're not going to talk about that.
Hey, man. Never give up on.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Never talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't never give up your entrepreneurial dreams, Jordan. Never. All right. Today's topic.
I have a call from Portugal. I might have to leave.
Oh, this could be important.
I'm sorry.
Alrighty.
Feeling silly today. We'll let Paul finally get around to introducing this shit.
Okay, here we go. All right, so today's topic is going to be a really interesting one. Jordan was surprising everybody, and he went pretty deep for this one. So, Jordan, why don't you take it away? What is our topic?
Yeah, so in essence, we're going to go into a deep dive, not a deep dive into the Marvel Universe, the Marvel Comics, the 616, the canon. We are going to decide on who could lift Thor's hammer that has not already lifted it in the comics. There's a few things about Thor's hammer. Mjolnir, for those who don't know what that is. So that's its name. Enchanted by Odin himself, crafted by dwarven blacksmiths of. No, I was laying it up to you.
You were expecting us to fill in the blanks?
Yeah.
Netavalier.
See? Netavalier. Okay. Made from Uru metal. Okay. Used to. No, we don't care about that. So what we're going through today is.
I got a question.
Yes.
Where was the forge? What did they use to forge the hammer? What was the actual forge itself?
Do. Oh,
You know.
You didn't do your homework.
You're stumping me. I actually don't know.
I think it was a star.
Well, according to the
think it was a
movies,
sun.
yeah, it was the dying
No,
star.
I think that's canon actually.
That is canon.
I
Okay,
think
that's
so.
what I was gonna say, but I wasn't 100% sure. I know that
I'm not
sounds
1,000%
weak.
sure because I thought since you did the homework, you're going to educate
Yeah.
me.
No,
But-
I did not look that up.
All right.
Which is my bad. So there's certain criteria that Odin used to enchant this weapon. And those are the criteria for worthiness, including selflessness, sacrifice, and acting without self-awareness. Those are the 3 things we are going to be looking for today
Amazing.
for these characters to lift Thor's hammer. Okay? Obviously, Thor has lifted the hammer. Beta Ray Bill has lifted the hammer, and Captain America has been deemed worthy, as well as Storm. The list doesn't end there. It could be more, and we are going to decide at least 3 more that could lift the hammer. Please, if you have an idea after the video or during the video of who could lift the hammer, then please let us know in the comments below. And let's have a little discussion down below. So, who wants to go first with their character?
I'll go first. I just want to remember I'm going classic here, okay?
Yes,
so I don't know
absolutely.
what's happened Marvel. I mean, probably Squirrel Girls lifted the hammer by this freaking time.
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about all that. And from my knowledge of classic comic books, he had never lifted the hammer. But I'm going with Silver Surfer.
Huge, some cosmic level stuff here.
Not that he needs to. I don't think that he, you know what I mean? He needs the hammer, but I think that he's worthy of lifting the hammer.
Tell us why, because we are going to try and debunk your choice.
Okay, the guy is completely impervious to corruption. He is always valued life above everything. He sacrificed everything he was, and that all of his hopes, all of his dreams, to save his people. And he served one of the most destructive forces in the galaxy, not evil, destructive. And he was able, for the time he was Herald, he was able to direct that in a less destructive way towards life.
Okay,
I rest my case.
Sure. Before we start throwing questions at you, what do you see Surfer doing with the hammer? And
Whatever he wants. He's already got
Whatever
the
he
power
wants.
cosmic.
Yeah,
like
but
I said, he doesn't need the hammer. I'm just saying he's worthy to lift it.
But can you book something? I'm putting you on the spot. Book it.
Wow, I just think if he had picture the hammer and the board, you gotta be like Drive-By City, man. like, like people would be like getting hit with like Thor's hammer and they wouldn't even know where it was coming from.
That'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool. Chris, do you have a question for him?
Not a question, because when you presented us with this topic, Surfer was my immediate go-to, but turns out as of 2020, he is the most recent person in Marvel Comics to have wielded Thor's hammer.
No.
Okay. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
That's
so
fair.
yeah.
That's fair.
But I'm talking classics I don't think he ever had. Before that point, Chris?
Yep.
Okay.
So he's been around for about 50, 60 years, and
now
they waited.
Chris, if you're familiar with the story where that happened, I don't know if you are, or at least got the Cole's notes of it.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there any shenanigans with him lifting it, or did he just lift? You know, there's always like people like play angles. There's something weird going on, some outside force, or was it just him? He was worthy enough. He picked the damn thing up. End of story.
It's not the greatest article that I've found, but that's all. That's
Right.
what it looks like, and it looks
Yeah.
like it was battling Thanos.
Fair. If you know what I mean, you're gonna pick Thor's hammer up and put it to some good use that way. Yeah, that's
Wow.
that's the guy to do it with.
So now, current Marvel deems him worthy, which probably should automatically get rid of the fact that he can lift a the
Legit.
hammer, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
current Marvel
It's not-
likes to destroy everything that they touch.
It's not helping my case.
It's
No.
not. It's not. So my number one question is how can you deem the server worthy when he is responsible for billions of deaths?
How do you mean he's responsible? He literally stops billions of deaths,
Well,
trillions of deaths,
Are you
endless
saying
deaths.
every planet he went
Yep.
out, he
Yes.
never found one planet?
That's why he is the fastest herald of all time. It's because he burned rubber to make sure he could find planets that had the type of biomass that Galactus needed, but not sentient life.
All right, hang on. I got to make a phone call. Is this true? Hello? Yeah. All right. Yeah, that checks out.
Interesting. And let's
All right.
talk about his family. He did.
He literally turns on Galactus.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Her family. Let's stay current.
Oh yes.
Nice.
Yes, let's
Okay,
say
legit.
Yes.
But he literally turns on Galactus, knowing full well that breaking that agreement means that his own people now are at risk again, just to save an alien species that he doesn't even know or really care about.
Yeah, something he has no ties to.
Right? Like he puts everything that he loved and everything he sacrificed, he puts it back on the chopping block to save a planet, ours, and the people on the planet, us, from Galactus.
That is very true. What happened with his family though? He left.
What do you
them,
mean?
He
He
left.
he
them
left
in
his
chains
entire
of-
life.
He got
Yeah.
that bag and he left. He's like,
Yeah.
I
Hold
got
on,
some
he was-
power now. I don't need you scrubs.
So he
Well,
went
later-
out with some
he-
smokes and he
he
never
told-
came back.
I'm gonna
No,
go
he told
hang
Shala-
10.
He told Shala Ball, he's like, I'm going out for smokes. I'll be right back.
Yeah. She's like, wait, you're not black.
Yeah. He
I'm
gone.
just going down to the corner store, 37 galaxies away.
Yeah. So yeah, no, he like there's nobody in the Marvel universe, arguably, that have sacrificed as much as Surfer for other beings that he doesn't even know, will never know. You know what I mean?
That's fair. So, he became a herald of Galactus to save
Yep.
his planet. Is that just for
And
the people out there,
initially,
right?
initially,
that,
yeah.
That was the whole point.
and then of course there's the immediate crux. Okay, now that I'm in this position, how do I not compromise my honor, my love of life, all of that? And he had to really work hard to make sure that that happened, right? He was in a position that was really compromising, and he still didn't compromise, like every other herald did.
So, what sucks is, on my end, I went.
What's
for
weird is
deep-
they did sort of make him look black.
Yeah,
well,
what's up with that?
I think it's an art.
It's like the
choice.
Obsidian Surfer.
So it is silver, but like they wanted to accentuate the
hammer.
hammer and
The
the, lightning
melanin?
behind. Yeah, the melanin. You know,
Chris, what's up? Chris is spicy today.
I love
All
it.
right.
I love it.
I know, me too. No, he looks like the Obsidian Surfer. That's definitely.
Not silver.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, look.
Hey.
Look at that. That's
Yeah.
the gunmetal surfer.
Yeah.
It's not really
Legit.
silver. No. Is that Cap?
Where? Right here?
Who is that? Yeah.
That's Cap right here. No, I think that's Thanos.
Yeah.
Oh, that is.
That's Thanos.
Yeah. Sorry, it's really tiny on my screen.
It's really tiny on my screen too.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so I'm still sticking with Surfer, and I don't think your questions have changed that, Jordan.
No, here's the thing. I went up and I tried searching up and doing a deep dive. Not a deep dive, but searching the worst things that Silver Surfer has done, and that was hard to find because they haven't destroyed him yet. They have not.
He's not popular enough.
He's not popular enough, so they won't destroy him.
Well, they're obviously they're already going to make him a woman, or that's the talk. But I guarantee you, they'll make him a lesbian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put a chick in it.
Make her gay.
And lame.
Yeah, because a friend of mine and I were talking about that, and we were like, his entire character arc, his entire, not arc, but purpose, is that he loved Shallabal so much that he was willing to sacrifice everything that he was to become a slave. Maybe that's why they made him black.
Oosh. Oh, no.
My God.
Jordan cannot be edited out. Will not be edited out.
It's not getting edited out. It's there.
But the whole point of his character is that is his motivation. That is his drive, was to save the love of his life. Have you ever known a woman that has ever given up anything for love so intensely?
Cannot be edited out.
Nothing's getting edited out. No.
Okay. All right.
We're live.
All right. So hold on. But anyway, getting back. Can anybody prove me wrong? Surfer's picking up the hammer. That's just the way it is.
Like I said, it was my pick before I heard that it was your pick already. So
that's that. I think Surfer gets the hammer.
And he's flying off into the cosmos with the hammer.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Infinitely.
Yep.
To that cigarette store in the sky.
That's it.
Moving on up.
The vape shop on the other side of the galaxy.
But people at home, prove me wrong. Tell me why Surfer can't get the hammer. Put it in the comments.
And even if you're not at home, if you're watching this in your car,
you can
on the way to the smoke shop.
Yes. Just don't leave your kids. It's a terrible
thing. Don't leave your kids for this. All right.
Oh shit!
I'm done.
Jordan smokes, and he's about to have a kid.
I mean, you noticed?
It's been my out. It's my out.
Just Jordan, no, you cannot. Sonny. You cannot live on my couch. Okay, moving on.
Okay. Number 2. Do you want me to go or do you want to go, Chris?
Whatever you think is best, man. It's your topic. If you want to save yours for last,
I'll save mine for last. How's that?
Okay. I have 2.
Oh.
No, 1.
Twist.
You got to be 1.
Well, my 1 will only take a second because you're going to shoot it down in a heartbeat.
Okay. Then pick the other one.
I will. That's the one I'll go on. But I just want to make a slight point. Punisher.
Oh, come on. We're done.
That's what I'm saying. I told you you'd shoot it down. But hear me out. Hear me out.
All right.
What he does can be argued to be noble.
Okay, except if it wasn't, it's not justice, it's revenge.
And what is the difference?
The difference is justice doesn't need to equate to what you feel is adequate. Justice is what it is. It's impassionate, right? It just is what it is. It's to right a wrong. Revenge is to make you feel better.
So where I'll agree with you is not all vengeance is justice.
Yep.
But it's not justice. There is a large amount of vengeance that can be justice and justified.
Yeah, but not Punisher.
But what he's doing is he is taking out the worst of humanity.
By his estimation.
By their actions.
By his insanity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, by his insanity, which is questionable.
Like I said, I knew you'd shoot it down. That's why it's not my pick. I still think there's an argument to be had, but I don't want to belabor it because.
But what's your second one, though? What's your second one?
My real one is Peter Parker.
Okay, let's hear.
All right, Jordan, I'll let you go in the ring first.
No. I want to hear him first.
No. You're the Spider-Man expert.
I gotta make my case, right? I gotta
make his case first.
My case is. Oh, now I'm getting a call from Vancouver. all these
I
scam
got-
calls love me.
I just got 3 words. And go ahead, Chris.
Okay.
No. Go ahead.
He, for the most part, I cannot think of anything that he's done that is not worthy, so to speak. Does this cause anything worthy?
Just quickly, let's go back to what qualifies as worthiness. Jordan,
Okay.
can you read them off again?
Worthy. The criteria for worthiness includes selflessness,
Having a big penis.
sacrifice,
You
And
can see it in his suit.
depending on the artist, sacrifice, and acting without self-awareness.
Okay. I think that last part is going to be a difficult one. But let's get going.
Well, and in his self-awareness, I would say it manifests in restraint, much like Daredevil. He's aware of who he is, he's aware of what his powers are, and therefore he does not do what he could do when, dealing on the street level of things, and even beyond. Like, he could, if it was him and Scorpion, he could take down Scorpion and like bury his face in the ground and it would never come up again.
Agreed.
Yep.
But he doesn't. So his self-awareness comes at the I don't want to say cost, but I'd say value then, at the value of being respectful to what he is and what other people aren't.
It's very true, and I just want to add something. It's funny that you brought up Scorpion, because in Superior Spider-Man, when Doc Ock is fighting for the first time, he's fighting Scorpion, and Doc Ock,
Poor Scorpion.
Octavius takes a swing at Scorpion and takes his jaw right off, and that's when Octavius notices for the first time how much Parker's been holding back the entire time they've been enemies. Anyways, continue your point. I just thought that was amazing.
So, sorry, what were the other worthy points?
Selflessness
Which I believe he has in spades.
and sacrifice.
Which again is sort of the same thing. It's kind of redundant on their part to label that way, but
It is a little. I'm gonna challenge it. And Jordan, you can jump in with that. How many times has Peter Parker turned his back on his responsibility right from the very get-go? Right from the very get-go. Amazing Fantasy number 15.
right. Okay, so let me interject on that. Worthiness is not infallibility, right?
No. No. But if you fail at the worthiness, you no longer qualify for said hammer. So you can be infallible in a whole lot of ways. Peter Parker can pick his nose. That's fine. But if you fail at this qualification, you no longer lift that hammer.
But that's my point. Is infallibility doesn't mean like you can be fallible. The fact that he didn't comprehend at the time, and his powers were still new, and he was still adjusting and adapting and realizing what he meant, and you could even argue why he was chosen to be the one that received said power, because maybe that spider bites somebody else and it doesn't present the power in the same way. So due to his makeup, his DNA, his mRNA, because maybe it was altered by a vaccine.
You're on fire today.
We're not that lucky, Chris. We're not that lucky. Keep going.
So when the spider bites him, he has that reaction. So he's, the chosen one. And so he's still adjusting. So the fact that he turned his back on the guy that ultimately killed Uncle Ben is already a cause and effect that weighs heavily on him and does so throughout his life. Mm-hmm. So it's a mistake, and mistakes don't make you unworthy. And even if it was fully aware, it's still not something in my mind that would make someone unworthy, because because Thor's made tons of mistakes. No, He's
Chris,
been banished
nobody-
by Odin.
Nobody believes that Thor is worthy of his own hammer. No one.
Right.
Thor does.
Okay,
Thor
well,
does
that's
believe
great
it.
for Thor.
Thor
Yeah, but
does
nobody,
believe it.
nobody
Nepotism is a
outside of
powerful
Thor,
drug.
nobody outside of Thor, including his own father, thinks he's actually worthy of that hammer.
Well, and his father certainly isn't either. So,
Yeah,
100%. 100%.
Exactly.
but my point is that you can make mistakes even along the way, even after he realized that first mistake. You can still make mistakes. You can still make judgment calls that aren't, that didn't pan out. And that doesn't mean that you're not worthy. Like, say he does hit a little too hard and knocks Scorpion's jaw off, or kills somebody, or whatever. That error in judgment is not necessarily unworthiness.
Sure.
That is a blip in the grander. See, there's a saying that we shouldn't be judged by our worst moments. They aren't who we are. And it's the overall makeup. But the hammer is supposed to recognize, and we've seen it, that it supposedly recognizes down to the core. And that's the thing, is it's about the core of who they are. And it speaks to someone's emotions, intentions, and thoughts, right? And all of those things collectively make up who you are. Because I could sit there and tell you what a nice guy I am, but all the while I could be stealing money from an orphanage.
Right.
But it's my actions and intentions that define who I am.
I have another question.
Okay.
What about every time he's given up the suit?
Yeah. Every time he gives up.
That's self-recognition, if you ask me. That's a feeling of not doing enough.
Okay. My question, no. What then disqualifies somebody if not their choices? In your opinion, Chris?
No, their choices do
not disqualified.
But are the choices of him stepping away, is that an egregious, just to colloquialize it, unworthy take, or is it the grabbing a thug who just robbed a jewelry store and webbing him up so tightly that you're like a boa constrictor and he can't breathe, and you just let him hang there, and you put your little
accident.
No,
That's
but
an
like,
accident,
okay,
not
so
a
then he webs his mouth so he can't breathe, and the guy dies before the cops get there with the little Spider-Man note on them. That is is egregious. That's something.
But his choices have led to suffering. His choices have directly led to death.
Examples?
Uncle Ben?
Right.
Aunt May?
Right, but Uncle Ben was old already.
Yeah, fair. And Aunt May's pretty old too. So her opinion doesn't matter.
Speaking of Aunt May, now you have to defend the big one.
This is the one. I can't see how you're doing it.
He made a deal with Mephisto, the devil himself.
That was an active choice. It had to be of his own will. And he sought him out.
When was this?
After
Brand
Civil
new
War?
day. Yep.
So, new era.
Newer. I think we pretty much said the Civil War thing was our cutoff, but I think that was directly after Civil War, wasn't it?
It was a direct effect of Civil War because he reveals his.
So if I'm bowling and I go up to the line but not over it, does my strike still count?
Here we go.
Up to the line, you're good. Up to the line.
But even before that, Peter Parker has given up. Do you think the hammer is worthy of somebody who gives up?
Yes.
Well, then that is your opinion, but I don't think so.
Because, well, and again, you shoot it down because you say that Thor is not worthy, yet the hammer disagrees. Thor's given up more than once.
You have to understand the hammer was pretty much given to Thor with no caveat, right? Like, he doesn't have to be worthy. It's his hammer. Everybody else, to bear the power of Thor, I believe it's inscribed on the hammer, to bear the power of Thor, you have to be of certain worthiness. He doesn't. He is Thor.
Yeah, but there's been multiple times where the point is made that he is unworthy, and he has to.
Sure.
And again, there's the argument of can you earn worthiness back, which negates what your points against Peter Parker are, because
which you can.
yeah. So does
hammer-
a lifetime of good deeds not outweigh the fact that he looked the other way when he saw a guy running by with cash?
But hold on. Does the hammer forgive him, or does his father forgive him?
Whose fault?
When the hammer's taken away from him, can he lift it anymore? It's you. Don't. I'm not talking movies.
It's his father's enchantment, so it's one and the same.
Yeah, but his father takes it away. Literally takes the hammer from him.
Mm-hmm.
You do not get this anymore. It doesn't mean that Thor can't lift it or anything anymore. He just doesn't have physical access to it. That's not the hammer's magic or its estimation of worthiness.
I thought, let me just see if I can quickly find it. I thought there was an incident in the 80s where he wasn't able to lift it.
It might have been. There might have been one, but I know in general, whenever he's denied that, it's usually Odin taking that from him.
Now,
Like, you didn't got it anymore.
Just for clarification, when we're talking Thor, we're not talking about Eric, right? We're talking about
Yeah, no,
Thor.
we're talking about Thor.
Donald Blake?
Yeah, no.
Sorry, yeah, Blake, whatever.
Yeah, we're
I thought
talking
it
about
was
Donald
Eric
Blake.
Matheson or something.
Yeah.
It's Spider-Man is a tough one that I actually struggled with because he has an encyclopedia list long of selfless acts and,
Who?
Spider-Man, Parker.
Spider-Man, absolutely. He's a hero.
Right?
I'm not saying... Okay, guys, please don't read into me saying that Spider-Man isn't worthy of the hero title.
Correct.
That's not what I'm
Correct.
talking
But
about.
look, worthiness is like Bill Gates' carbon credits. He can pollute. He can pollute all he wants, but because he's rich and he can pay carbon credits, therefore it negates all of the pollution that he does, and it resets him back to zero.
Yeah. maybe that's Thor's excuse why he can lift his own hammer. But yeah, I'm not saying, but that would mean that if it was just the criteria of being selfless, every hero in the Marvel universe should be able to lift that hammer. The criteria is higher than that.
But it's not just the selfless act, or even a few. It's an overall mentality and way of being, which I believe Peter Parker embodies, and then some.
Okay, can you tell me somebody who has quit more than Spider-Man?
Ben Grimm.
He's almost known for it. It's kind of his stick, right? It's kind of a trope that we know. Peter Parker says, I'm trash, I can't do this anymore, gives up, and then something terrible happens, and he's got to put the damn costume back on, and there goes Spider-Man again. And he tries to fix everything that was gone. If he had just not given up in the first place, perhaps all that suffering could have been averted.
But maybe he was just having a diet high in soy at those times, and he was like,
I don't have the hair for it, obviously, guys, but he's combing his hair in front of his face and stuff. Yeah. He's feeling it.
and he does.
I think if Peter Parker
Gotta have no
could
rhythm.
be selfish, he would be selfish. But his situations are so tightly packed and everything that he cannot be selfish because all his villains are so closely tied to him. He's got.
I'm not saying that he's a villain. I'm not saying that. Obviously, Peter Parker could be a great villain. Okay, like Spider-Man, his power set, he could be a phenomenal villain. He's not a villain. He's a hero, but not every hero is worthy of the hammer of Thor.
Which is fine. Now, Chris, before we deliberate, I want you to book what would happen if Parker had the hammer.
True. What would he do?
Book it.
Huh. What would he do?
Little synopsis of a story.
Open a whole bunch of walnuts? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know that he would. Well, because think about when he had the Captain Universe power, right? And it was short-lived.
Yeah.
I would assume that it would be something similar to that, where he'd probably like, and again, the writing of the comics is they would allow him the access to it and then present a reason for it, and he'd have like, some sort of cosmic battle that he could play out, and then I think he'd give it up. I think he'd find a way to say, look, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think the Surfer would do the same thing too. I don't think the Surfer, he knows he doesn't need it.
Essentially, they would find a lesser person to bestow the hammer upon.
Yeah, or even find a way to like turn it into Lost and Found at Asgard or something.
Yeah. Hand it over to Hemdial. Yep.
At the end of the day, I was just listening to an interview from Stan Lee, and he was talking about, fans coming up to him. Who would win, Spider-Man or the Thing? At the end of the day, it all comes down to what the writer wants, right? So if the writer wants someone to pick up the hammer, they're going to pick up the hammer, right? If the writer wants this person to lose in a fight, they're going to lose in the fight, right? Spider-Man's going to pick up the hammer and beat the Thing, right?
If the writer wants longtime characters to suddenly be transgendered, bisexual, or spontaneously female, that's what the writer wants, and that's what they're being paid for.
Right?
Great!
Literally. That wasn't a homophobic slur. Paul was just saying,
Apparently,
I ain't afraid of no gay person.
Apparently, Superman is like sending shirtless selfies to other dudes in the new era.
Amazing.
Right.
You think he'd be on the GQ magazine? Come on.
All
Doesn't need to send nudes.
All right,
I love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I just don't know if he's the guy for the hammer. That's all.
It's hard for me to say yes, because Spider-Man's my boy.
Yeah.
It's hard because
it's
hard. I don't know if, it's your story, so yeah, you can do it. I don't know if I could have him lift the hammer. That's for sure. I don't know.
One More Day's too ingrained in us now.
Yeah.
Even though it technically isn't classic, it's still ingrained.
He made a deal with Mephisto himself, and that bothers me.
Hey, if Mephisto was real, I'd make a deal with him right now.
What would your deal be?
It would involve Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, and a bunch of other people but I can't really speak about it.
Yeah.
Let's just say it wouldn't be pretty.
If we get shadow banned, we know why now.
Listen. You can't demonetize a channel that's not ready for monetization
got no money
yet.
So all of a sudden, next thing you know, we start owing YouTube money.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Now it's your turn.
So I wanted to give myself a challenge. I wanted to choose somebody from the X-Men, and man, do the X-Men have issues upon issues. And I'm not talking about books and titles of issues. I'm talking about their personal issues and personal
baggage.
And baggage. It's like trying to find an X-Men that is worthy of lifting the hammer is almost impossible. But I think I got it. I chose Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler, for being the amount of times that he is, his power set is literally to get in, get out of dangerous situations.
Ironically, that's my power set too, is to get in and get out.
Get in, get out before she wakes up.
Oh no!
Let's
not say it. Not online. We're not talking about this online.
What have you heard? That's weird.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
So that literally his power set is to go into dangerous situations.
Good.
And extract people from those dangerous situations. He is a fighter. He is laid down on the proverbial grenade to save others. And the other major thing is that his faith has not been shaken, and in such a world that that there's literal other gods flying around, he still stands in his faith and has not been and moved. And therefore, I think that defines Nightcrawler as being worthy.
I'm challenging.
Yeah, go.
Breaking his adopted brother's neck.
Explain.
I thought you did your homework.
I did not find that in my research.
All right, so his brother, his adopted brother, right? Because he was adopted by a gypsy family.
Yes, yes, he was.
The adopted brother lost his mind and went on a killing spree, murdering children. And
Yeah, but who among us hasn't?
Right. We've all been there. All right. Anyway, and Nightcrawler went to go stop him, and in the ensuing fight, broke his neck. He didn't like fall out of a building and break his neck. Like Nightcrawler broke his neck.
Interesting.
And then Nightcrawler, of course, in total irony, because of the way he looks and what he is, all the townsfolk think he's the one that was killing the children, and he's a demon, and they want to kill him. And that's when Professor X steps in and he joins the X-Men.
And invites him to the X-Men. So part of his origin, he breaks his adopted brother's neck because he is a child murderer.
Yep.
Would you say that was the right thing to do?
I don't know, if you're a Punisher, yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think murder is not the catalyst for making someone unworthy.
Okay.
Right?
But when you have the power, but when you have powers to deal with the problem without murder.
Fair. He did have the powers. Did he have the training? Did he?
No, but he could teleport.
He could teleport. That's a tough one. And I want to say, for the purpose of this, that he did the right thing. Listen, child murderers do not get to live. I'm sorry.
Oof.
See, that's my Punisher argument.
Yeah, okay, hold on. That's a different kind of discussion for a different kind of talk.
Yeah.
We're talking comic books? Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking comic books.
But, well, I have a challenge.
Okay, go.
So, unless you're a Christian fundamentalist, he's not really worthy because his devotion to his religion could be very well viewed by any other religion as being unworthy or tainted, radical, or tainted, psychotic.
Interesting. That's good points as well. So,
and when you consider the origin of the mythology of Thor being of the Norse gods, he stands in direct
opposition.
Opposition, whatever you want to call it, of that mythology, of that sect of religious faith. So would for argument's sake, would a Muslim view a Christian as worthy in most regards based on their belief system, based on their consumption of pork, for instance? So
well, yeah, but we got to go with what the Hammer's qualifications are.
No, I know. Yeah. I'm giving an example. Like it's the competition of religions. So I think he is part of your argument is that he's so religious and devout. So I think that's actually a detractor. Not that I'm against his religion or other religions. I mean, that's self-evident. I am, but whatever. But it seems to be the antithesis of what a religious-based weapon would be in favor of, because it's a competing, if not usurping, religion.
That's an interesting point. I never looked at his religion as being a detractor of being unworthy, because Odin is a literal god, and since Odin doesn't demand, first off, worshippers, right? I don't really see that.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me clarify things right off the hop. Number one, the Asgardians are not gods. They consider themselves gods, and they're often worshipped as gods. They're powerful aliens. That's it. Okay, they're effectively Kryptonians. So,
right, but
but regardless, Kurt worships something even higher than Odin. He does, because where did Odin come from?
Thanos.
See, and not Thanos, but what? And I'm gonna. Where did Thanos come from? So this is why let's not get into a religious thing.
That's fair.
Let's try to just stick with the actual worthiness points of the hammer.
Yeah, but that's a huge part of who Nightcrawler is. So I'm saying that his devotion
Its motives is
to an
motives?
ancient religion.
Yeah. So you think it's because of it modifies his motives?
It influences his motives in every action he takes. I mean, the guy, tattooed himself all over his body. So
Absolutely.
But does his devotion to X, we'll just say whatever, does that mean his actions are not worthy of the hammer? I think breaking his brother's neck is an action, right? His belief doesn't change.
But part of your actions are your intent.
True, absolutely true.
So
right,
okay,
and that goes back to what my point about Peter Parker, or even before that to Frank Castle, is the intent of his actions is to get rid of bad people for the sake of making the lives of good people better. So,
but what is the road to hell paved with?
Right, but I didn't thumbs up.
Thank you, man.
We just got a misfire. We just got a misfire.
Magic believes me.
Chris, it happens to everybody. It's okay.
Is it because
It happened to everybody?
Because maybe your maybe because your thumb was near the bottom of your screen. Anyway,
make it more erect.
All right. So, Jordan, before we get any more, and I really want to avoid a religious conversation. I really do.
Course,
but
of course.
Before we go any further,
why is it because you hate religion? That's so rude.
Oh, why do I hate God? I don't. Anyway, there's only one way for me, and that's through Jesus. But Jordan, read the 3 qualifications again.
The 3 qualify.
Because I need to be more familiar with them as well.
Okay, so
in case you ever find the hammer.
Exactly.
Yeah, you need it. The criteria for worthiness are selflessness, sacrifice, and acting without self-awareness.
And the missing one, good grammar.
Yeah, true.
So acting without self-awareness is
I'll
diving
never get
onto
the hammer.
that grenade, right? It's diving onto that grenade. The sacrifice is, what are you giving up to do good for? What have you given up? And selflessness is pretty self-explanatory,
Well, there's a lot of overlap. There's a lot of overlap with those. Yeah.
Sure, right? But I think it creates a clear message of
Yeah.
you have to be giving up something to be worthy, right? What have you sacrificed? Are you selfless? And do you, when the situation's going down, right? Like Batman wouldn't be worthy, Iron Man wouldn't be worthy because they're too analytical to be worthy. It says you have to act without self-awareness, right? So by that qualification alone, anybody who is analytical and is be like, okay, I could do this, or I could do this.
Well, it doesn't mean without self-awareness in every instance of every moment of your life. I think what that means is the throwing yourself on the grenade instant.
Correct. That's exactly what I was saying.
I'll agree with Chris on that. It means throwing yourself on the grenade when there are no other options. You will be that guy.
And you'll do it without a moment's hesitation.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Steve Rogers did in Cap 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
whether
okay,
it's real or not.
I don't know. I really want to allow, like, I really want to be for Nightcrawler because I like him as a character, and he really is one of the shining lights of the X-Men. I just, man, it's just that it's always the origin stories. They really nail them in the origin stories, man. And,
well, see, and like what you were saying earlier, Paul,
So
with the
you have no mercy or for forgiveness, is what you're telling us.
well, I'm the Hammer. I don't give a fuck if you were 3 or if you're 300, man. You are unworthy, bitch. That's it.
Oh, there's a
See,
It
like-
doesn't sit there. It doesn't give you a caveat. It doesn't say, and then because you did so many good things and selfless things, now that doesn't count. It doesn't say that. Right? It doesn't say that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I'm gonna book it, and then you guys can vote it. Okay?
All right,
So-
let's vote it.
No, let me book it first. Let me book it.
Nah, whatever. Okay, so
Why not?
yeah, okay. Nightcrawler has the hammer. Go.
Nightcrawler has the hammer. While he is doing his, obviously, the hammer will amplify his power, right? He gets the power of Thor. Not only is he teleporting, but as you know, or maybe those who don't know, when he teleports, yeah, fuck you. He's typing in our gilded chat, and
You did first.
I know, I did. I know. But it was a timestamp because I liked what happened. So when he teleports, he goes through hell.
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty damn cool is when he teleported, he makes a stop into hell and he goes after his father and wants to end it once and for all with the hammer.
I think he has a couple times squared off against his dad, but
For sure. I think it would be a good story, you know, and obviously with the power exemplifying, you could see Nightcrawler flying around to different galaxies or even teleporting to different galaxies and saving other people on other planets and stuff like that. You could make him that. Yes, go ahead.
would he keep the hammer?
I don't think so.
In all of our examples, they don't keep it. That's
I
maybe
don't-
why. Maybe that's why all 3 are worthy.
Because they know that somebody else might need it better.
It's selfless, right?
It is.
There's ultimate selflessness right there. You have the power of Thor to augment your already amazing. You're going to use Peter Parker as an example. Amazing powers, and
trademark.
and you give it away. How much selflessness can you do?
I could see Kurt finding a child on a different planet.
Whoa!
that has-
Where's this going?
Well,
Yeah, I
you'll
don't
see.
know.
You'll see. A kid that's lost their parents, you know, in a worn-torn planet, and Kurt gives the hammer to that kid to become that planet's defender, because it would circle back to his origin story, where he had to try and save those kids.
Legit.
I think
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think full circle it, right? It's always
All right.
So you guys can vote whether Kurt gets the hammer, Nightcrawler gets the hammer.
Hold on. Did we vote for Spider-Man? I don't think did we vote?
I can't remember. That was so
All
long
right.
ago.
So let's vote.
We didn't vote.
So let's
Okay.
vote. Does Peter Parker get Thor's hammer? Can he lift it?
Yeah. I gotta do it. I'm a Peter Parker shrill.
It's the worst kind of lie is the one you tell yourself. Let's do it.
And Surfer gets the hammer.
Oh, we already voted. 1,000%.
But I just want to do the thumbs up.
All right. All right.
And does Nightcrawler get the hammer? I'm going yes.
Man.
It's mine. Unsure? Or
Yeah.
Are we waiting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me. Yeah, I gotta go. No.
No.
All right.
No. Fair.
Is there a thing for? Yeah, there it is.
There is a thing. There is
Now
a
keep
thing.
in mind,
It's on my phone.
Jordan, my vote for Peter Parker right?
Yeah, what switched
I'm being
it?
very specific. I always say Peter Parker. I can't even say Spider-Man anymore.
Why?
My vote for Peter Parker.
Because of
No.
Miles Morales? Because of Ben Riley?
Peter Darker.
of
Let's
Miguel?
go. So, no, my vote is I'm not taking into effect origins. Okay, I won't because they kind of invalidate a lot of people. And I'm not going to also do One More Day because it's not. I won't like Chris. I'm not going to consider it classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So I won't like having self-doubt does not disqualify you. Okay?
right.
It's just I'm worried about his actions when he's going through his bouts of self-doubt. But ultimately he always comes back to do the selfless thing, right? And even though his self-doubt, even in his moments of self-doubt, I'm now counter-arguing my argument. It's usually because he wants to help Aunt May or something along those lines, right? Like he's like, I can't be Spider-Man anymore because I need to help Aunt May.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's usually those kind of things.
He feels like by doing the hero thing, he's not measuring up in life to the people that he truly loves.
Which he's still doing selflessness and sacrificing.
Right.
Absolutely. So that's why that's why ultimately that's why I gave Spider-Man a thumbs up. And if I'm going to take Spider-Man off that hook, the origin hook, then I'm going to take Nightcrawler off the origin hook.
You gotta.
All right, so.
And Punisher. All right, so we're settled on Punisher.
No. All righty.
Tie. It was 2-2.
It was 2-2. All righty. So, guys, that was a good one today. Jordan, good topic.
Not bad. Tell us in the comments who you think is worthy, who should hold the hammer, who should not have held the hammer in comics.
And tell us in the comments if you think that Jordan's microphone isn't routed and he's just going through his laptop microphone.
What?
Pretty much.
Does it sound like shit?
Always.
Shut up. Really?
Check.
Yeah, you're the quietest guy. Like, man, it's like you're in another room every time.
Unreal. Okay. I wish you told me before we started recording.
I only just sort of picked up.
We can hear you now. Just
because I
keep
gotta
putting it in your mouth
the whole time. Hello.
What if I talk like this?
What if I talk like? How's this, baby?
Okay. Anyway, folks,
is that Jordan or James Earl Jones? My glasses. I mean,
I'm glad I don't have mine.
That's what I am for Halloween now.
No, so guys, like Jordan was saying, please let us know in the comments. Tell us what we got right. Tell us what we got wrong. Tell us who you think is worthy of the hammer and who you think absolutely should never have lifted the hammer in the first place, of the rare few that have.
And preface it by saying whether your father left or you had a father in your life. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Say goodbye, Jordan.
Goodbye.